Gentlemen and ladies, what a game by Arda Güler. I'd call it a masterclass. I'd call it magical. I would just call it what it is. Arda Güler is going to be the most important player for Jose Mourinho based on what I've seen in preseason so far. Arda Güler versus Ferencvaros, the stats tell it all. And the stats also don't tell it all. I watched the game. I saw a man that was controlling the tempo. I saw a man that was pinging the ball around. I saw a man that was dribbling past players, head up, trying to spread the play out, looking for players in key positions, looking for players making the run. Arda Güler showed me that he can be Madrid's main creative outlets this upcoming season. The stats show you here, 90% pass accuracy. That's insane. 4 chances created. Insane. 1 big chance created. Insane. 6 recoveries, 1 interception, 1 clearance. The stats show you that not only was he creative during the game yesterday, he also was playing well defensively. And I saw it myself the game. Arda Güler by far impressed me. Man of the match, best player in the whole pitch. Arda Güler reminds me so much of Mesut Ozil. The fluidity, the movement, the dribbling, the vision, the passing, of course, the left foot, but it's just how he controls games and influences games so far in preseason. He's going to be a very key player for Madrid and Mourinho. Now, Madrid have lost Rodri to Barcelona, unfortunately. I know that would have been a heartbreaking moment for Madrid fans, but I think they have something special in Arda Güler. And Mourinho must not waste Güler playing him deep or on the right side. In fact, when Mourinho took off Bernardo Silva and Endrick, and I think he moved him to the right, he moved Güler to the right, I felt like Güler's play became more ineffective. Güler should not be playing on the right side of the pitch. Güler should not be playing deep. Arda Güler has to play in the middle as a number 10. Now, people say, hey, SM, that role is more reserved for Bellingham. We're looking for a creative outlet here. Bellingham is a great player, but he's not as creative as Arda Güler. Arda Güler right now is Madrid's main creative outlet. They need a player like that, making those through passes, looking up to find the ball. And in fact, last year, Arda Güler played very, very well with Mbappe, especially in that number 10 role. And this might sound crazy or controversial. I'm going to go a bit further. Again, based on what I've seen in preseason, Mourinho should build a team around Arda Güler, not Mbappe, not Vinicius Jr., no one else. The team must be built around Arda Güler. I'm sorry, based on what I've seen, because the midfield is the part where Madrid are not getting it right. And they tried last year so many different experimentations, but having Arda as a central attacking midfielder in a 4-2-3-1, which I believe is a formation Mourinho is probably going to play, Arda Güler has to start. And if it's between Bellingham and Güler for that number 10 role, you have to put Güler there, or else Madrid will have the same problems as they had last year. Lack of creativity, lack of a player spraying those passes as a through ball between defenders. That is made for Arda Güler. We saw how impressive he was yesterday. Incredibly impressive. This guy was linking play, was moving around, he played dangerous passes, especially in tight spaces. The way he moved the ball quickly in tight spaces, the way he was all over the field as an outlet to receive the pass or to make the pass. He has to be starting next season. There is no ifs, no buts. Has to be starting. Now, Mourinho has a headache here, big headache, because in fact there are a few players that could actually play in Arda Güler's position for Madrid. But Güler is, in my opinion, the most creative outlet. He's the most creative outlet. And again, the stats tell you a lot in how Arda Güler played. Okay? He took 90 touches. That's a lot of touches in the game. He was at the heart of how Madrid played. And I noticed one thing about Güler. I don't know if it's me, but he's bulked up. He has more muscle mass now. He's bigger now. I've noticed compared to last year. And I think I saw like last year and in previous seasons, it was very easy to like push Güler off the ball, push him off the ball, etc., etc. Now this time around, yesterday in that match, notice how players tried that. Güler didn't fall down, and I feel like him putting on more muscle mass has allowed him to become more stronger, more stable on the ball. You can't easily push him off the ball. You can't do that. And people say, hey, he may lose his speed. Güler was never a fast player. The speed was not Güler's main strength. Güler's main strength is being a great set piece specialist. It was never about him, being the skinniest so he can run fast. That is not Güler's main attributes. No way. Okay, so he can even get bigger. He could become as big as Adama Traore. It would not affect his game in any way possible. Speed is not part of Güler's game. It's not. And in fact, him having the ability to actually not be pushed off the ball is great for a midfielder. Madrid need more players like that, strong on the ball, can't be pushed off or dragged off the ball. You have to fight him to get the ball. And Arda Güler showed that yesterday. In fact, I feel like he's probably the most impactful player so far for Madrid during this preseason. He's impressed me. And Madrid's preseason so far is up and down. We see some positives and some negatives too. I think there's a lot of negatives in that game against Ferencvaros that we could speak about in a different video. But I'm just more concerned about Arda Güler's performance against Ferencvaros. I saw shades of Ozil. I saw a man that is ready to step up and be that creative outlet. And he seems more confident. And I feel like Mourinho has given him a lot of, let's say, confidence and has probably told him, you will play a big part. You will play a big part. And you know what's funny? The way Güler plays would definitely suit Barcelona. And, I don't know if Barca were ever in the race for Güler. I would not be surprised if they were in the past. But he reminds me of a Barcelona player, Arda Güler. He would fit seamlessly in the Barcelona system. The movement, the passing, the touching. If he was at Barca, trust me, he would fit there seamlessly. Madrid have to build the team around Arda Güler. There is no ifs and no buts. Build it around potentially your best midfielder. And this might even sound controversial. I think Güler is more influential and more important than Jude Bellingham. I think he's shown that in the past season or so. There was a time where Bellingham was injured last season. Madrid were playing very well without Bellingham. Bellingham came in there to force him in, right? And that's where things got a bit unstable and shaky. If I'm choosing between Bellingham and Güler for the central attacking midfield role, I'm picking Güler. Mourinho has a huge headache right now. Both Bellingham and Güler can play that role. Both Bellingham and Güler want to play more forward. In fact, they want to play very close to the goal. And I think it's a waste of Güler talents to be playing him deep. He's not a deep line playmaker. He's not a right winger. He is a central attacking midfielder. That's where we get the best out of Güler. And at the same time as well, I also feel like Bellingham, right? He plays better, again, close to the goal. So how do you fit Güler and Bellingham in the same lineup? Mourinho has a huge headache, especially with Bernardo Silva, Camavinga, Tchouaméni. And I have a feeling that he's going to play 4-2-3-1. I feel like he's going to play a 4-2-3-1. And I'm looking forward to seeing how awesome Güler's going to ball out next year in that 4-2-3-1 formation. And I think Güler thrives in that kind of formation rather than 4-3-3. If it's a 4-3-3, you're gonna need two central attacking midfielders, and that's not Güler. Güler is not a central. So two central midfielders. Güler is not a central midfielder. He's a central attacking midfielder. He plays more closer to the goal. So we're going to see that very, very soon. And I'm hoping that, I'm really hoping that Güler continues his form during preseason, the whole preseason. And I'm sure Mourinho is cooking something good. But at the same time, you know, Bellingham should be back very soon, and it's going to be interesting to see how Mourinho will fit all the pieces in the puzzle on his chessboard. I'm Shirtless Matchday. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.